Scholars, far and wide, debate death of an icon. Ferland Dove. Tribune correspondent, June 23, 2008. Paris. Just as author Richard Wright was celebrated amid the controversy during his life, divergent views on his death elicited opinionated discussions at the International Centennial organized in his honor here in Paris, from June 19 to 21. During a speech at the conference's opening plenary session, Wright's daughter, Julia Wright, called for a boycott of a presentation planned at the city's American embassy because she believes the U.S. government was responsible for causing the illness that claimed Wright's life in 1960 at the age of 52. As she asserted that the CIA, Central Intelligence Agency, surreptitiously drugged her father with LSD during routine interrogations on U.S. embassy grounds. Julia asked conferees to forego the embassy visit and join her during the same time frame for a vigil at the cemetery of Père Lachaise. The space I will choose to commemorate his centennial as well as pay my respects to his life and ordeal, will be niche 848 where his ashes were laid to rest on December 3, 1960, she said of her father, who was famous for searing America's racial consciousness by writing such books as Native Son and Black Boy. Wright also gained notoriety due to his affiliation with the Communist Party during the McCarthy era. He subsequently became so disenfranchised with the entrenched racial apartheid in his homeland that in 1946, during the height of his career, he chose to become an expatriate in Paris. Indeed, Wright never returned to the States and maintained his permanent residence here until the time of his death. After Julia's emotional preamble, author John Edgar Wideman, also a presenter at the opening plenary, pledged that he would be there to support her at the cemetery grounds. However, all conference participants were not so quick to endorse Julia's change of venue. Joyce Ann Joyce, professor of English at Temple University, who was scheduled to deliver a keynote address at the embassy, remarked during an interview that, "There are times when we know a story from its beginning to its current moment, but the current moment is not the right time to reveal the details of the story." At least one conference participant outright disputed Julia Wright's claims. "Certainly Richard Wright was persecuted by the United States government, but I don't believe that in 1960 the government had anything to do with his death. He had long ago and very publicly given up his affiliation with the Communist Party. I certainly understand his daughter's anger and frustration. But you have to look at the chronology," said historian Karen Marco, a distinguished professor at the State University of New York's Maritime College. Another conference presenter, Amy Glock, planned to join Julia at her father's gravesite. Glock, who recently received her doctoral degree in African American Studies from Temple University, said, "I'm blessed to be in this space with these phenomenal artists and intellectuals gathered for this conference. Just to be in the same room as Julia Wright and John Edgar Wideman, there are just no words for how special this is, and to be here in Paris, where Richard Wright expatriated, really gives a better understanding of him as such a complex human being." When she began to read her prepared remarks, which she titled, "Daughter of an Oppressed Giant," writing in the first person singular, Julia said that, "Pain is difficult and I have to share my pain with you today because before celebrating you have to get through pain." During an interview following her presentation, she reflected, "As I spoke, while sitting next to John Edgar Wideman, I felt his spiritual strength, which was so strong. It gave me the strength to go through with what I had written because it was like wading through ice to say what I said. In this day and age, it should be in the history books." She continued, "We are due the truth. I am a grandmother. I am an elder, and at the end of my life, I should not have to ask for the truth to be revealed, but I am not asking in the first person singular. I am asking for all those who have lost dear ones through the same type of ordeal to join me because no longer can the history be swept under the rug.